Hi, today I'll be showing you the work I'll be doing on my Sequoia forest from 2023 to 2024. Now I know last season I just put the forest together, but I realized that this pot is slightly too small for what I envisioned the forest to be, so I got myself a larger pot. And just to show you, it is slightly larger if I put it like that. It's the same color, it's just slightly larger, and I think this will suit my forest a bit better because if I can spread the trees out a bit more, I can probably grow them to around that tall. That's the end goal, about that tall, and it'll look proportional. Whereas if I grow it that tall in this pot, the pot will look very small. So I'm going to take the trees apart and I'll get to replanting the forest and restyling it. So I've taken the tree out of its pot. So many roots have grown and the root tips are already white, which means I can't really prune too much of the roots, but that's okay. I can still separate the trees. So let's take a look at the 9 trees we have. Look at the amount of roots there are. Grew so much over last season. I'm gonna do a bit of root pruning while I still can, because I know in the future when these trees get bigger, you can no longer do root pruning. Now let's just look at an individual tree. You can see they're not really that developed yet in terms of branch structure, but altogether they make a decent forest, and we're not going to prune too much off. We're just going to remove the tap roots like before, like that. So let's get to planting the forest. I've saved the moss and we have the trees here. Let's just get rid of those weeds and roots. I'm going to fill up the bottom as usual. That's a good layer. Let's position the trees. See how I want this. Let's get the 2 tallest trees. These are the 2 tallest ones. Now I do want the tallest one in the middle, so I'm going to place it like that. And let me just look at where is a good front for the tree. This is a pretty good front. Biggest tree in the middle. I'll make sure they don't fall over later. Got 2 bigger trees. You do want an asymmetric triangle, so I will put those 2 over here like that. And there's too much root on this one, so we'll take some more off. These 2 can go over there. Let's see if they don't fall over. There's another one there. I will straighten them up. So we've used 3 trees already. Now I've got some smaller trees. In fact, this one's actually quite tall as well. This one can go at the back. We'll put that one over there. So I've got 4. The small tree, there's these small trees. That's 6. Fall over. We'll put that there. There's 1 here. We'll put 1 here. 7. I'm wondering if I need all of them. I reckon I can get away with all of them. So let me assemble the forest real quick. All the trees I want in place, and we'll put the rest in. So I've reassembled the forest. Let's spin it around. This is going to be the front. This is going to be the side. And this is going to be the back. And I know there's a bit of a sticker here with the where the price used to be. I always find that it takes a long time to get those off, but that's okay. This is the other side, and this is back to the front. Now, time to moss it up. I have the moss from before, and we're just going to place these around. I might make a little path that goes through the forest, so I think I could stick with that design. So here it is, all complete. I've got a path here that goes through and around. I put all the trees up, they're straight. But the pot's a bit dirty, but we'll let the trees grow. I won't do any pruning right now. I want them to regain a bit of vigor. They're coming along quite nicely. The small trees, I think they'll catch up, but again, this is not the eventual height I want it to be. It's going to be probably double this height, and I want to keep the trees again quite narrow, and maybe even remove some of these lower branches, because I feel like I don't need the branches to be that low, especially for these trees. But I do want them to gain a bit of vigor, so I'll keep them for now, but later this season I'll remove a lot of the lower branches, probably even up to here. But I'm going to put this tree away, and when something starts to grow, I'll show you an update. So here's another update of the Sequoia forest. I've weeded it before. there were a lot of weeds in there, and I've cleaned that up, and we're going to do another pruning today. Unfortunately, this tree on the side died, which means I think I only have 8 in the forest, but that's okay. We're going to prune all these long extensions back. I want to keep everything compact. Let's turn the forest around. It looks pretty good. Some of the trees at the back, the internodes are really long, and I don't want that. So we're going to be pruning everything back first. I'm going to prune all the lower branches off because, again, I don't want things that are too low. So I will quickly do that. You can see some of them are even coming near the base of the tree. So I'll get rid of that before we continue. So I've removed the branches on the bottom. There are some dead branches on some of these trees, and when removing these branches, I try to leave any remainder of the branch up because, especially on this main tree, there was a bit of a bulge here because I don't think some of the branches were removed very flush, and it will heal over with a bulge, and that looks really bad. So next step I'm going to do again is to either pinch back or prune back these extensions. I mean, these trees are looking really nice. Look how compact these trees are. Again, I do want the branches to go horizontal, so anything that's going vertical I will take off. So for example, I've got 2 branches competing for a leader here, so one of them is going to come off. This one is too vigorous, so I'll take it back. You can see the stuff at the bottom that's growing straight up, that is going to get removed. So again, this is the leader. I don't want this tree to be too tall, so I will take the leader back and it'll grow more leaders. I'm just making everything compact. Again, if some of these branches fall off, I don't mind because I'm keeping a lot of them on, and I kind of want the tree to just drop the branches it doesn't want off. You can see some of them have weaker branches. If they fall off, it makes the pruning easier. I will prune some of the other trees and we'll tackle the big tree in the middle at the end. So I've pruned back all the other smaller trees. I've got my largest tree here. Let's look at it from the side. I know there's not a lot of growth in the back, obviously because the sun's facing this way, so we're going to prune the front so it can match with the back. And you can see on the larger tree, I'm getting some really nice growth, which I'm really happy about. Just going to pinch this. Hopefully stimulates more back buds. I want to keep this more compact. We'll keep that. And I'm getting some good division, but this is too long. There we go. I'm hoping these branches don't die back. I don't think they will. We'll pinch the tip of that. The weaker branches I'll leave more growth on, whereas the stronger branches I'll leave less. I've got so many branches here. I'll take this one back. I'll keep my more horizontal one. This is going to be the leader. This is competing for the leader, so it will get cut. It'll get cut completely off. This horizontal branch is okay. It's just very strong. Leave some of the bigger leaves on. You see that's making it a lot more compact. This pinch, and I think to be safe I'll pinch it to that bud. I've still got this extension. Pinch that back. These are still growing, I don't need to pinch it. There is the apex, and prune the leader off. We'll shorten the side branches. It'll grow another leader, don't worry about it. I just noticed this branch at the back is a bit long, so I'll still leave a lot of length on it because I'm okay with it being a bit long at the bottom. I think that gets the main tree pruned up quite nicely, a very tight triangle shape. You can see the biggest tree is taking shape really nicely. Some of the trees at the back are also looking quite nice, whereas some of them still need a bit more work, such as this one and that one, where we need a bit more branching. In fact, I think, these are in good positions. I'll let them grow out. So that's another pruning done. And I don't know if I'll prune it once more. If I don't, I'll just show you a final update, but we'll put the tree back and we'll let it grow. So here's another update of my Sequoia forest. I think this will be the last pruning I'll be doing on it. I have weeded the place. There are still more weeds popping up, which is annoying, and they do get quite large quite quickly. So the planting can look a bit untidy, but I have just weeded it. It's also just rained and the moss is very green and it looks really good. I really like how quickly it's developed. Let's see what we need to do. I already have kind of an asymmetrical triangle shape to the entire planting. That's really good. And you can see a lot of new shoots have come out. Now, if I just left it to grow, it will probably still grow for a few more weeks. And I don't want this to be too wide. And I feel like if I prune it now, it will set the buds near the tips. And that'll be a lot better. But first things first, if you can see, let me just move some of these plants out of the way. I'm getting new growth at the base of the trees again, so we've got to just come in and either cut that off or just rub the buds off, because I don't need growth that low down on the tree. I want a relatively clean trunk. These are meant to be forest trees, and if you know, forest trees are usually quite tall because they compete for light with each other. So let's get to the pruning now. You see all of this new growth. I think we'll just cut this back quite compact. I will leave some more growth on the bottom because it needs to grow out a bit. But anything like this that's growing straight up, I will prune because I don't want that to compete for the leader. These, I'll just pinch. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I won't. So just going to pinch that. Let's see if we can not get the plant matter in there. I will take, do I take the tip off? I think I will take the tip off there. Make everything more compact. In fact, it's quite cluttered here, so I will take another strong branch off. Take this strong branch off. And I'll take this strong branch off. Just to clean that up a bit. You can see now I'm getting a nice tree shape. And I'll do that with all of the trees and we'll work on the main tree. So I've just pruned up all the trees. These two trees I'm not liking because they look very similar and they were growing at the same height. I do want this one to grow up a bit, but it was not growing very compact. We can always fix that next season. These small trees will grow quite quickly unless it somehow dies like this one. So let's get to pruning the big tree. You see, I did take off lower branches and again it's grown back, so I'm just going to pinch it. Oh, this is it's a bit too hard to pinch. I'm just going to remove any sort of buds I see at the bottom because I don't want stuff growing here. I want a clean trunk, and I'm already getting the scar to heal on that cut. Look at it from the side, nothing too bad. Anything that's growing straight up, I'll just pinch the tip off. I'm just going to do a bit of pinching. I know I'm not really getting any sort of distinct layering here, but I will do that in spring when the buds come out. So again, pruning, so I leave a bit of the new growth. That just makes it a lot more compact. I'm going to pinch this. Some of them which already have buds makes it easy because I can just pinch back to a bud. This is growing very cool. This will pinch back here. And that tip we'll just cut back, making the top very compact. There's stuff that I've cut back before. You can see that's growing straight up. I've cut that before. I can cut it back now because a new bud has grown underneath and that's more horizontal and I really like that. Even though towards the top of the tree you want the branches to slightly angle upwards a bit, but do remember that I'm going to grow this planting taller. So this isn't the final apex of it. I think that's going to be the final pruning for this season. I'll put it back, and when the buds start to set, I'll show you a final update and we'll end the video. So here's a final update of the Sequoia forest. It's starting to grow again. I'm not going to prune it. I'm going to see how much this can grow. I don't want to reduce the vigor anymore, and I won't repot it next season. I'll repot it the season after, and I'll give it a wider pot so I can style the landscape more. It has been raining for the past week, and look at the moss. Look how lush that looks. Soft, it's fluffy. We're getting the sporophytes starting to come out. And the whole place looks quite miniature, looks quite nice. I'm really happy with it. Let's look at the trees. The main tree here. The top is still a bit wide because it just grew out, but we can fix that next season. I don't want to be pruning it again. But eventually I'm going to space the trees out more so they can get wider. But this looks really good. This tree at the back is also starting to look quite nice. Some of the trees still need a bit of work, such as these. They don't really have a good shape to them, but I think they'll come along in a few seasons. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them. But anyways, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you next one. Bye.